Hello, everyone, and welcome to Crime Time with True Oracle. I'm Lady Zelda, and here we are talking today about a case that rocked a community just southeast of Lexington, Kentucky, in the USA, about District Judge Kevin Mullins being unalived in his chambers by Sheriff Mickey Stines on September 19th of 2024. This has been a real shocker because these two gentlemen have been friends for a very, very long time. In fact, the sheriff used to be a bailiff for the judge. But it seems as though the sheriff was going through a little bit of, anxiety. And the night before, he and his wife had an argument, and the sheriff showed up in his plain clothes and not in his uniform. Evidently, he slept on a sofa somewhere, and they had lunch together, the judge and the sheriff, and the sheriff was a little uneasy during the lunch, although others that went with them said that they were okay. They went back to the judge's chambers because the judge told the sheriff they needed to talk about a certain particular situation that the sheriff brought up during lunch in chambers. So when they did that, it was very upsetting. The sheriff tried to call his daughter from his own phone and she didn't answer. However, when the judge called the sheriff's daughter, she answered, and that set off the sheriff. Now, do we even know why this happened? No, we do not. But the defense is saying that murder is not on the table because the client was, who is the sheriff, experiencing some very stressful situations. We know where this is headed, but we don't know the reason why. Let's deep dive into this. Let's see if the judge comes out and tells us, if he can give us a hint of what has happened and why it did. So I want to introduce the cards to you, and this is the Thelema Lenormand deck, which is read in pairs. This is the Kipper. We're going to lay a foundation for that. And then we have the Vintage Tarot. Now, I do have other decks around me, and before we really get started, I'd like to ask you to please hit the like button, subscribe if this is the first time you're here. And also, I want to say, I am not a lawyer. No one on this channel is. We're not lawyers. We're not law enforcement. We are not, we are not fire department. We are not any of those wonderful experts. We are tarot readers and tarot profilers. That's why we're here. We're just giving some opinion based on the guidance that we give the cards. You, my darlings, are welcome to form your own opinions based on this and do your own research, okay? So thank you very much for that. We are going to put these to the side. We're going to get started. Now, I'm going to say, let me know if you see anything in the cloth. And other readings that I'm doing, people are picking things out in the cloth. If you want to take a look at that right now before I clear the energy, let me know what you're seeing in the comments. And you know what? Let's talk about these readings. I love it when you put in your opinions and your thoughts, and you even tell me some things about cases. I love that because I'm not here to report the cases. I'm here to dig and deep and dive and see what's going on. Okay, so we're going to clear the energy here. We're going to put out the Thelema Lenormand deck first. And again, it is read in pairs. Now, I always shuffle before I read, but I want to do it again just so you can see. Spirits, guides, and angels, we're asking on behalf of District Court Judge Kevin Mullins and on behalf of the Sheriff Mickey Stines in Whitesburg, Kentucky, if you can give us any indication from your energy, and especially if Judge Mullins is there, if you want to come through, your energy wants to come through. We are not calling his soul, his spirit. We are just saying any energy that is here, we would love to have you come in and let us know about what is happening. All right. Thank you so much. Here we go. First card. Now, that is a Nine of Hearts, and that is a rider, and that is a main subject. And I'm going to say that's got to be Judge Mullins coming through, first and foremost. Oh, yes, it is, with the casket card. Isn't that amazing how that comes? I mean, we can't make this stuff up. You saw that I shuffled. We have 2 9s. This is amazing. So it did happen on the 19th. We know that. So the 1 and the 9. So yes, it is Judge Mullins. We're going to put these to the side. All right, now, Judge, we thank you so much for coming forward. What is it that you would like us to know about this case? Can you give us a hint or anything that has happened? And again, my friends, whatever comes out in the cards is just for really entertainment purposes only, okay? Just you form your own opinion based on what you see and based on the facts. And we're here to just give you what comes out in the cards. You know, my darlings, can you make this up? Can you make this up? This is definitely the judge. So he is telling us something has definitely coming. I love this when it happens. Yes, indeed. And that was his occupation. That's for sure. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I fix my camera so it's not jumping because it's trying to focus because of the light. Okay. So, Judge Mullins, he was concerned. Okay, so what was the concern? Now, again, my darlings, this is based on cards, not on facts. You do your own research, okay? So there was a courtship. It looks like some type of communication that the judge was having. Okay, I get it now. I'm seeing it now. And he understands that Sheriff Stines is in prison, and this is very disparaging for him. He's just not having a very good time, and rightfully so. And I mean, he did this allegedly. The journey, this is going to be a long journey, he is saying. Pardon me. And a message of concern. Okay, all right, I'm getting it now. So the judge is telling me, and we do know by a fact, that there was a deputy that was in Whitesburg that was overseeing some of the women that were having, that were in the system. Let me just say that. And they were the ones that had the ankle bracelets that were under house arrest. And he was trading favors, let me put it that way. And it was... And I'm going to leave that to your imagination. I don't want to say that here, but it was favors from these female inmates coming from them. And the sheriff was very upset of how that was going down and how that was happening. And there was, so that was one of the topics of concern that the sheriff had before this happened with the judge. So the judge is telling us now that he is aware of that happening. And I do believe that there was a concern based on his own family, his own wife, and his own daughter. Again, check the facts. Okay, so that is what was happening. Unexpected income, yes. Now, the unexpected income does not mean, and that is the sheriff. So the unexpected income is not of income money. It is income of information. It was income. This whole situation was unexpected. There's not a card here that indicates that, so it's the only thing that the judge would have to show us. So I want you to take a look at this really, and again, let me know in the comments what you think. This is the sheriff. Okay, so we need to know where this is headed. Where this is headed, what is going to happen, because They're now looking for an insanity plea. And quite frankly, if the sheriff, and look at this a lot of energy here, Page of Cups, a very emotional situation and very emotional information is coming through. But if the sheriff is found guilty, he can face the death penalty. So let's just say, I think the defense is going to go for an insanity plea, and we're going to see what exactly this is. All right. So that's the Seven of Swords. The Four of Wands, fiery element, another fiery element, and yeah. I mean, we can't make these things up, can we? I mean, and the judge and the sheriff had an excellent relationship up until lately, and it was over this deputy. Most generally, it was over the deputy. So look, here's what the judge, here's what spirits, guides, angels are telling us. This is going to take an infinite amount of strength, but there's also a Leo. So I don't know if there is a Leo with somebody with a zodiac sign of Leo involved. But we've just gotten started, is basically what it's saying. This sheriff knew that he was not going to get away with this. Now, he turned himself in immediately after it happened. He went right outside of chambers, put down the pew that he was using, and bottom line is this. The judge is telling us that there was some type of interaction, some type of memory, some type of something happening. And it looks as though the sheriff was concerned about his own family, his own daughter. And here, the daughter and the mother is what he was concerned about. And especially when the judge called his daughter and she answered the phone, that sent the sheriff off into a rage. The Four of Wands. If you see this, this can mean this fire element of around a home, a concern around the home. But see, there was this argument that they had the night before, and he knows that he's not winning. He knows that he's got, this is not a contest, but something that he's got to do with it, because he also knows, the sheriff, that he's his own worst enemy. This was caused by his own making. So the judge is telling us the situation. He keeps telling us, he wants us to understand, and we do understand. So let's see with this Lenormand deck if we can get a conclusion about what is either going to happen, what's next for this card. All right. This tarot card, I'm sorry, not tarot, but this Tower card is not the same as in the tarot. There we go. I got it out. The Six of Spades and the number 19. And of course, you see that number 19. And this happened on the 19th of September of 2024. Now, this particular Tower card, not meaning the same as the Tower in the tarot, will mean government, which makes sense. It means a hospital and or prison. And the sheriff is in jail now, awaiting trial, and the judge is basically saying he's going to get prison. We know that. I mean, we don't have to be psychic to know that. That's it. But how is this going to handle? Because right now it is a murder charge. The defense says they won't accept manslaughter. The prosecution, and the 4-minute video was very harrowing. It's very emotional. The anchor number 35, and that is the 9 of Spades and this Star card. With the 6 of Hearts. This is definitely a sacrifice. a family, community. It's a heartbreaking situation for both sides of the fence. This is telling us, look, we've got to anchor in because this is going to be very frustrating. But it also is telling us with this Nine of Spades that we all have to curb our imaginations. And there's been a lot of things going out on social media about an involvement with the judge and the daughter, or involvement with the judge and the wife, and nothing of that has been proven yet. So I don't want to go there, but this is telling us we need to curb that imagination because this will be taken care of. The Star card is also an Aquarian card, and I do know that there is going to be some upset, a shakeup. It's going to be, it's not going to be a nice situation. I'd like to get last thoughts. I'd like to get last thoughts on this. Regret. And I know that that is coming from the sheriff. Definitely looking ahead. I mean, his life is ruined. His family's life is ruined. The community just doesn't even understand what is happening, what has happened. Speculation is running wild. All we know is that someone lost their life that day. And actually, I think both gentlemen, in many ways, lost their lives. Nothing will be the same as they know it. And I've just got to say this, my darlings. I want you to hang in there. We're going to keep looking at this case because I think this is something that we all need to know. And believe me, this can happen in any community at any time. I want to thank you so much. And leave me your comments. Let me know what you think about this. We're going to keep following this. We're going to keep looking into it, profiling, seeing what it is that Judge Mullins wants to say to us. In the meantime, if you're new here, again, please like and subscribe, and don't forget to comment. Thanks so much for being here, and we love it, and we'll talk to you very soon. Bye for now.